Hi everybody, it's Mike D'Angelo. Just like to do a quick video on some of the facts and misconceptions of the Prowler. This is my 2001. It's in Prowler Orange. One of the things I've seen on other videos is regarding cowl shake. Now the cowl is the inner structure where the instrument panel, or years ago we would call it the dashboard, mounts onto. It's an inner structure piece, and from my experience with the car, and I've only had it 7 months, the steering wheel will shake or vibrate, and to me it's directly related just to the suspension when you're going over bumps, and the suspension, the vibration just travels to the steering wheel. So I haven't seen any kind of excessive cowl shake to the car. The other thing is I pretty much drive with the convertible top up all the time, so I don't know if that's actually supporting the header of the windshield also, being that the convertible top is clamped in. That might be actually helping it, you know, if there is cowl shake with the top up. The other criticisms you hear about the car is the interior. It's a parts bin car. You know, the steering wheel is from a Grand Cherokee. The AM/FM cassette, you know, is out of other Dodge Chrysler products. All of that is good, in my opinion, because that means, you know, you have a car that's 20 years old or so, collectible. The last thing you want to do is spend time trying to find parts for the car, you know, interior parts. And that goes for the engine also, the 3.5. This engine was in the larger Chrysler Concords, the 300M, the LHS. These are all pretty heavy cars, and, you know, along the lines of power, you know, the engine is more than sufficient. It kind of reminds me, I had a 95.0 Mustang automatic. You know, both cars are 4-speeds automatics. You know, it's sufficient. It's got, actually, I put on a Sweet Thunder muffler system that really seems to open up the flow a bit on the car also. I took the baffles out, and it's got a great exhaust sound to it. But again, the engine is, the other thing with the engine also, you know, the availability of parts, which is great. Big criticism, not a V8. From my perspective, another good thing, you know, it makes a car like this affordable to someone like myself, where, you know, you can't afford a Viper or a Porsche or Corvette. You know, you have the mechanical parts. You know, this was originally a front wheel drive configuration. You know, they put a drive shaft in, the transmission's in the back, but all these parts and drivetrains, you know, are from the original larger vehicles from Chrysler. The other thing is the tires. You know, that's another thing contributing to the ride. I have here the original Goodyear run flat tires. I mean, these tires are mammoth in size. You know, 20-inch. They're almost like 11 inches wide, I believe. It's like riding, I guess, on rubber cement tires. You know, there's not much give with these type of tires, so a lot of guys will switch them off to regular Continentals for a softer ride, and that supposedly that improves it. You know, I use the car very sparingly here in the city, so it's really not an issue for me. So the other thing is body parts. I mean, that's probably your biggest expense if in the event of an accident. Even the wheels, you'll see these wheels typically will pit up, you know, one way or another. I have this particular left rear wheel, there is pitting somewhere. I don't spot it right now. That's going to be a big expense. So if you're at a dealership or even buying it privately, you know, that's, you're probably looking at like $400 to $500 to re-chrome a wheel or get a replacement wheel. So if if you're buying a Prowler and you see excessive pitting, definitely take it off the price of the purchase, because that's a big expense, and that's one of the main attractions on the car, you know, the chrome wheels. You know, you don't want anything pitted, you know, especially if the rest of the car is in great condition. Okay, and also, you know, practicality, you know, it's not a daily driver. I know out west you could get on the highway and use it a lot more. The roads are smoother, but, you know, there's no trunk space. You know, it's maybe 4 inches in height. You could get a briefcase in there, some clothing. To me, it's not meant to be a daily driver. You know, these cars are, you know, aging and getting rarer, in the sense that if you want one, you got to look all over the country. You know, so this one happened to show up locally, and you know, I went ahead with the purchase in the winter time. So the other thing is, just don't overpay. No matter what you're interested in buying, you know, never overpay, because a year or two later, you know, you may change your mind, you may want to sell it. You know, if you lose $1,000, $200,000, $1,000 or $2,000 off the price 2 years later, that's not too bad. But you don't want to lose like $5,000 because you're overpaid. So this is some other things, you know, collectability. What I'm finding is now, you know, guys my age, we like the cars from the 50s and 60s. I think that's changing. You know, people in their 30s now like the cars from the 80s, the Toyota Supras, the Porsches. Some of the foreign cars are really catching on, and there's not much interest, or as much, in the, you know, the cars from the 50s and 60s, the muscle cars. Also, a car like this, the Prowler, I mean, you could bring it to a mechanic, and he'll, you know, it's fuel injection, they'll know how to work on it. The biggest thing is, you know, bringing it to a mechanic and making sure he's not going to scratch the paint leaning over on it, that kind of thing. But the AC also is excellent in the car. I mean, it's probably because it's such a small, you know, interior, that it just blows ice cold with the windows. I mean, that's a great plus for the car, compared to like an older hot rod roadster, where, you know, reliability is just an issue. You know, old is old. There's nothing like the old hot rod look, but here you have it, you know, in its modern day look. There's nothing else like it. You get air conditioning, power windows, and you know, really good reliability. Other than, you got to watch the ball joints. There was a big recall on every year model for the ball joint, and that's it's attached to the lower control arm. I'll try to zoom in on it. There is a recall, and if you're purchasing the car from a dealer, you know, make sure they could show you the recall has been done. And if not, I mean, you know, it's right in their hands, where they really have to take care of that recall for you. So it's one less hassle. This car had the recall done, and I was able to verify it. So that's, you know, something you really don't want a wheel falling off while you're driving. I mean, you know, enough said about that.